represent the young people, especially from the community where I came from in Linden. So while it wasn't a popular decision at that time, I still felt as though I made a correct decision to join the PYO back then, and I was given an opportunity to provide some degree of service to the party and some degree of service to the people who I wish to represent.
Yeah, and absolutely nothing was wrong with that. Some people will not accept that, but that's the reality.
Yes.
Just like how um, someone else might be strong for another movement or another party or whatever,
Yes.
you were strong for who you believed in. So absolutely nothing was wrong with that.
What is very important, what I think will strike out is that at that time when I joined the PYO, a lot of people who became my colleagues in the PPP were well, I don't, you see, my duty, my being here today, I don't wish to go down the road and to be calling names or to be condemning anyone for their decision and stuff like that. But it's very important. I think I need to get this point across, that when one of the persons back then that was my biggest political rival, I should say, in the youth movement, was Kwame McCoy, who was then advocating for the People's National Congress. So and we would meet at different youth forums when we were trying to establish the Georgetown Youth Assembly, and he was one of the guys who was always in my face, condemning me for being a part of the PYO and trying to represent the PYO. Myself and Robert Prasad were the main persons who were representing the PYO back then when we tried to create the Georgetown Youth Assembly in those days. So yeah, so basically, Basil, I've said that to let you know that, you know, come if we fast forward, from 1990 I stayed with the PYO and the PPP all those years. I spent some degree of my years outside of Guyana. When I came back, I continued to support the party that I believe in my heart that I can make a contribution to my country in that party. However, from the time I would say from the time Dr. Jagan died, the party, and I continue. I've advocated that all the time. That hence the reason that I became one of I, I I was saying that I would stay on this ship, but I would not if the captains are taking this ship where it should not be going. I would stay on this ship and battle for the ship to go in the right direction. There are many others that tried that, and they were sidelined. For me, I think that at some point in my political involvement with the PPP, I was sidelined too. But I didn't. For me, it didn't matter. It didn't matter to me because
You were making your contribution,
that is how I saw it.
and you thought that it was going to work out.
Well, I was hoping that it was going to work out.
Yeah.
However, the young man that became that took the helm of the party, who is Mr. Jagdeo, um, became, in my eyes, no longer. He became.
A bully, man, a bully. I'm not putting words in your mouth, but what I guess what Mrs. Jagan saw in Mr. Jagdeo back then was not reflected in his post Janet Jagan behavior. That turned around completely.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And I, as a young man, I was one of the few, and many of the Jaganites out there can say, I was probably the youngest Jaganite in the PPP prior to after Chetty Jagan died. And I continued to be a Jaganite. It was easy for me to forego the convictions of my heart and the principles that I stood for and become a Jagdeoite, which means that you sit down, you be quiet in the party, you vote where they tell you to vote, You do what they tell you to do, and you move forward in the party.
But that was not you.
That was not me.
Yeah.
That was not God bless the dead, Navin Chandrapal. That was not Moses Nagamutu. That was not Kemraj Ramjatan. That was not Joey Jagan and others. And even though like I said, I couldn't go down that road. You know.
Yeah, but there were times, and I can talk about it because you were a public figure. You were on Channel 69,
I'm a
and
public figure.
yeah, you are a public figure, and for the let's be very frank here. You
Yes.
you spewed a lot of hatred. Well, that's how it was interpreted. Maybe if you didn't intend that, that's how it got over. But you incurred the wrath of a lot of viewers, not the viewers who were pro PPP,
That's
but
correct.
viewers who were anti PPP. You incurred the wrath of those people for the things that you said on the program, and some of those things came over as really very venomous. Is it, or was it what you really felt inside, or you were put up to do such things?
Well, for me, once I was selected to advocate my party's policies and the direction the government was heading, once I was selected to do that, that was the job that I was required to do. And it will be unfair to those who pay me for them to pay me to provide a service, and I'm providing what they are not paying me to do.
So you were a disciplined soldier.
At some point, I had to. I took the responsibility because it was not forced upon me. I took the responsibility to advocate my party's position and to advocate the government's position. My responsibility as an advocate for the PPP is, if they say that if our position as a party was that we are going to say that the background that Basil Bradshaw has on his television is not the background of Georgetown, but it's New York. That is my responsibility once I agree to advocate their policy, to say that, listen, to argue that the background that you have on your television program right now is the background of New York and not Guyana. And I would have to find crafty ways in which I can put that over to the viewers and have them make their own judgment.
So you're telling me, Ossie, that you were basically a spin doctor? Basically.
Well, I don't like titles and stuff like that. You know why I don't like that is because maybe I in my humble opinion, a spin doctor is way above where I was.
Okay, you seem to be thinking along luncheon line. But the thing about it is that as my guest, I've not called you in here to tear you apart. I wouldn't do that. But there are times when we have to come to certain specific points and deal with the reality that the people are expecting out there. And in retrospect now, do you think that you regretted some of the things that you did, or you know, if you were to do it all over again, be it for whatever party you might be supporting now, would you do that again?
Yes, I would. Once I'm convinced in my heart that I am doing the correct thing, I would go out there and be willing to advocate for that. In fast forward, in January of this year, I was an employee at Gina, I was an employee at NTN, I was an employee at NCN. In January of this year, I had no problem with anyone. However, I was not comfortable advocating anymore or playing the role that I was paid to play. So I resigned my position at Gina, I resigned my position with NTN, I resigned my position with NCN, and I left Guyana.
And that obviously would have been before the election.
That's January of this year,
Yes. Mhm.
right? And the records that Gina will show and the records that NCN will show, because those are government public records. NTN might be a different story, right?
Now we'll get to that just now.
Yes. And I went to United States. I sat down. I was still following the what is going on in politics, And then I decided that, listen, from the time I saw the two parties, the Alliance for Change and the Partnership for National Unity came together, and they were advocating a new political culture. I wanted to be a part of this. I wanted to be a part of this. So, take me right back to something I said before. No one knew whether the PPP ship was going to sink at that time. No one knew. But
No one in support of the PPP because there were so many people out there who thought that this is the time, this was the time.
all right,
All right,
I
but
will, I
there
will
were
concede.
yeah, there were so many other people who would have thought that well, the PPP cannot be removed, right? So
Right.
there were people out there.
So here again, I made a decision that was not necessarily the popular decision to make. Why I say that? Because I could have stayed with the PPP, collected my salaries and stuff like that, choose to advocate or remain silent. Remain silent means that I'm consenting with everything that's going on, right? Advocating meaning that I am consenting and advocating. Um, or of course, when once I resigned my positions from my employers, I had no salary. Some people would not have made that decision, but I did not make the decision based um, on those things. I made the decision based that I thought that it was the right thing to do. It was time to embrace a new political culture. We could not continue to go down the road that we were heading. You understand me? And I decided to do a letter of resignation to my party, a party that I've supported all the years. I've never been a flip flopper. I've always been PPP, even in the days when it was not the most popular thing to do to be PPP, and to boldly say I'm PPP.
Yeah.
All the letters I wrote to the newspapers, I never wrote under no pen name because I know that I stood for principle. I'm not gonna say something, but I'm trying to make
You're
myself
hiding
know
from-
that
yeah.
I am not saying it.
Yes, I know.
Whatever I say, I stand by. So on May 7th is when I sent that letter out to the press, and I've said in that letter that, listen, it is time to embrace a new political culture. It is time for a national unity government. And Moses Nagamutu and David Granger offers us that best possible chance. When I look at what they were advocating, this new national unity movement, when I look at what the PPP were putting forward, I ask myself, Ossie, are you going to continue the same road? Or are you going to, in your heart, go for something different, something new, something that at least can inspire the people, that we're heading in a different direction. We couldn't continue along the same road. And in my resignation letter, and I stand by that too, there are tons of people in the PPP who know that we were heading down the wrong road. But they stay silent in order to protect their salaries, in order to protect their livelihood, because they're scared. Because I knew I was going to be victimized. I knew that they were going to come up with things that they're going to say that, they're going to try to paint me as all of a sudden this bad person, and one of those things came out, But the good thing is, I've already said that in my resignation letter that I wrote, that made the press on the 7th of May. I've already said it. And I've also said in the letter that these things, right, were done to Moses Nagamutu, Kemraj Ramjatan, Sis Narayan Singh, the late Lionel Peters, Ralph Ramkaran. All these guys had to withstand the onslaught of political, character assassination and those sort of things. And I know they were coming for me at some point. So right there after I resigned from the PPP, the letter of resignation was made public. There was NTN, my former employer, putting up a big wanted thing on their television station that I'm wanted
Yeah, that is what I really wanted you to get to, because when I didn't see it until you showed the picture that you took
Yeah.
to me, and I was taken aback, because I don't know that stations do, television stations or even radio stations do that kind of thing. If you know, let's say that you have a problem with whatever arrangement you would have made, then on the radio you call for somebody to the person to come in to talk with you or something. People will start to think that maybe yes, this is what it is. On the television station you do the same thing. But if you were to put up a photograph of someone who's wanted, that goes far beyond the ethics of proper broadcasting, and I couldn't imagine that was done.
However, Basil, um, I must admit that some of the nasty things that are going to come my way are some of the things that I was once a part of. So I cannot.
So you have to take some of the blame.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I
I
mean,
admit.
it's hard to say that, right?
Yes.
But it's you will have to take some of the blame, and only time, I guess, can erase that kind of attitude. But within that time, you will have to work assiduously towards removing that, and not only from yourself, but from other potential sufferers, so to speak, who might be going through that kind of character assassination politically.
Yes, of course. You know, when I must say, when I was in engaged to advocate on behalf of the party, because myself and Mr. Nagamutu, back in the days when he was in the PPP, we had a great working relationship. It was a man that I look up to. So one of the things when Moses Nagamutu left the PPP, one of the things they thought that Ossie Rodgers was the best person to go after Moses Nagamutu. I started. I went and I started. However, at some point I said, listen, I'm not going to do this anymore. I even sat down and I said to the General Secretary at one time, I had to bring it down to layman's term to explain to this former minister why I don't think it was a smart move to attack Moses Nagamutu personally. I had to say this to him. I say, Mr. Roy, Moses Nagamutu was once one of us. Imagine you as a parent, all right? You have your sons, one of them probably misbehave in some way, and maybe you put him out. He's no longer living there. But here is the neighbors coming to talk your son. Would you condone it? Would you feel happy? Would you be okay with it because he's no longer with you? No. So I explained to the General Secretary of the PPP. There are people, every time you attack Moses Nagamutu's character, there are people in the PPP who are upset with you, who are hurt by what you're doing, because they saw him not that long ago as a brother and a colleague. I broke it down to him like that. So I thought at one point I said, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this anymore.
On the point of clarification, what what you were made to understand, was it before we had our talk? Because you know my stand on that. I did make a point to you that
Yes.
I had a big problem with what you were doing with respect to the Moses Nagamutu issue.
Yes.
Was that before Mr. Rohi and you had a talk, or after?
No, Mr. Roy and me had the talk only recently.
Okay.
After Mr. Nagamutu was establishing himself again as a national leader.
So I may have had some form
Some
of
degree
input.
of influence.
All right.
Yes, of course,
I
of
take some
course.
credit.
Not Basil. All my friends. I had tons of friends who did not support my political view, but they continue to be my friends. That's a good thing. I think one of the biggest hurt for me is when my mother, who met Moses Nagamutu once, called me from overseas crying and telling me that she never expected me to do something like that, because this man has gone out of his way for you. Many personal issues also. He has helped me. And she was like, I couldn't believe that you're doing that. And that, too, was a turning point.
Yeah.
That was a major turning point.
Well, what I'm happy about, Ossie, is that you were able to reconcile with Mr. Nagamoto before he became the Prime Minister. So you, like me now, will be proud to say Prime Minister Moses Nagamoto.
Of course.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna say people might say that I'm sucking up, but I've always, you can check from way back, I've always said that the man is a principled man. And I know him personally. And I know that regardless of what, he will stand for principle. He stood for principle, and hence the reason he had to remove himself from a party that he served for 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I have no doubt that he's going to be an excellent prime minister. I don't know. I know what I read about Mr. Granger. But however, I said to you when we were coming earlier today, I'm excited about Mr. Granger's presidency, because the way our country had gone in terms of discipline. We are way down at the bottom when it comes to discipline. And to have a person with a military background, because we know military and discipline go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Even if that is all I'm excited about, that some degree of discipline will return to our country. I felt so proud and patriotic when I heard him sing that national song, that Guyana song. You know, then all of a sudden I hear them start playing those songs on NCN.
All of a sudden.
I
like that, because that's the fact.
We went back
But-
to loving our country a little bit more.
But could you imagine how our course will be charted with two principled people upstairs there? The president is very principled. Mr. Moses Nagamoto is very principled. The president and the prime minister together. Could you imagine in the next few years where our country will be heading?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I am, and I probably, because I know that I have a lot of fans that probably tune into this program, who might not, who continue to be diehard PPP supporters.
Hold up. This is one of the most watched programs in this.
Well, I'm not. Well,
so don't you might, you know. All right.
Conceded. But yeah. So some of my supporters and fans may have tuned into this program, and I may still support your party. That is your constitutional right. May still support the PPP. That is absolutely your right. You will still continue to be my friend. And if I used to come and sit down on your step and eat, I will still come and sit down on your step and eat, even though we are not on the same political party. You're still my friend. And I want to just ask you.
I would be careful about the eating part.
I just want to ask you to give the new government a chance. Give the new government a chance. Support the national efforts of the government to bring our people together, which is very important. All right? And support the efforts of our government to advance the country.
That's right.
In 5 years, this government will be put on will be applying again to continue their job, and you judge them based on their performance for this 5 years. It's as simple as that.
And I want to add, Ossie, that there will be, because this is an initial period. This is a transitional period. There will be haters. There will be doubting Thomases and so on. But by the time you get down to the first 5 years of this government's tenure,
Yeah.
I think people will get to learn and understand who David Granger is, who Moses Nagamoto is, who all of those ministers, whether those who have been sworn in recently or those who might be sworn in a time to
The
come,
key
who
players.
they are, because they will be under the guidance and the stewardship of Mr. Granger and Mr. Nagamoto,
Yes.
the president and the prime minister. And we will learn who these people are. And you know what? My prediction is, because I've sat here many times and I've predicted things that happened, like the change of this administration. My prediction is that
Predicted or advocated?
both.
Okay.
Yeah, advocated my prediction um, by the time we get down to the first 5 years, a lot of those naysayers and so on will turn 360 degrees and will make it easy for those for the president and the prime minister to get back into power
Well,
for another five
well,
years.
one thing I want to add there quickly is that I know of a fact. I have tons and tons of PPP supporters who respect me. I know for a fact that a lot of the PPP supporters were scared. They were frightened into not supporting anything other than the PPP. I know that for a fact. So this is an opportunity for this new government to put those fears to rest, the racial insecurities and stuff like that. This attempt at national unity is a golden opportunity to put those fears to rest. And I have no doubt that at the end of the 5 years, once our those PP supporters who were scared, right? And we know the persons who went out there trying to frighten the PPP supporters, the mostly Indian based PPP supporters, into frightening them about embracing this new political movement. Um, they will have an opportunity to see for themselves. Once they get to see and this new government perform, and I have no doubt that they would. I have no doubt that they would. And this new government do what, continue to do what they set out to do. I can see a resounding majority in the next 5 years for this administration.
Well, I feel the same way too. I feel the same way too. And as a former inside PPP man, I have to believe you when you speak like that. Okay? And I didn't only invite you here because I know you have to clear the air on your choice as it is now, but you are a broadcaster as well. We are colleagues. We would have had a different political ideology and so on, which is quite okay. But I always respect the opposite side as well, as long as we do the same job. Sometimes I don't agree with what the opposite side would be doing, and I talk about it without any hesitation, but everybody's got a job to do, everybody's got a choice, and if you are not ridiculous in your advocating, then it's quite okay by me. So we've talked a really long time.
Yes.
But that's because I know that you wanted to clear the air. I gave you all the time and the chance to do that. And I'm happy that you were able to spend some time here with me, Ossie Rodgers. One thing, though, to underline. So what is being spewed by Channel 69 is not true.
It is not true. And I was in the United States of America since January. But on the 7th of May, this resignation letter was made public, and on the 8th of May, I suddenly had a bill that I owe NTN, $660,000. They put on their television station that I owe them. I'm wanted for to settle an account of $660,000. However, they went to the PPP rally. Now I'm still very popular in the PPP areas. They went to the PPP rally, and I was told that radio announcers of the NTN radio, were instructed to walk around the crowd and tell people that I stole $660,000 from NTN. I'm hiding in the United States of America. I can't come back to Guyana. Once I come back to Guyana, I'll be arrested and placed in jail. I came to Guyana on the night before elections, the Sunday night before elections. I came to Guyana and make sure that I did my part to see this national unity government in place. And it was the first time in my adult voting life that I did not vote for the PPP. So I documented it.
Okay.
I have the video evidence.
Okay. Okay. And quickly, the fact that NTN did not put that part of it on the television and so on means that it probably couldn't be true, because they would have been open to legal,
Yes, and that's why they did that, because they didn't put that part on the television, because they know that once they put that part on television, it was going to be captured as evidence, and some lawyer, any lawyer, would like a case like that. It's clear cut. clear-cut liable information. That's why they use the whisper campaign at the PPP rally to say that part.
Interesting.
Because they know that once they put up big wanted on their television, then the fine line say that, yeah, I owe them some degree of money. And now, if I know that your time is gone, but I hope that you'll bring me back here to talk about that issue, because then I really want people to know the truth about what really transpired. And in fact, I'm just going to say this. It is NTN, the former Attorney General, and by extension, the former Minister of Health, that owes me in excess of $3 million. Not me owing them. They owe me. And I would welcome an opportunity to come back here at some point
and spell that out
and be able to tell you exactly why this is so.
Well, the coming back, I'm not too sure, because I can. No. I'm going to, since you're wanted, I'm going to hold you here until NTN gets here to take you into custody.
Well, I got to get out anyway.
Ossie, thank you very much indeed.
No problem, Basil. And thank you very much.
Yeah.
Also, and I want to say thank you to the viewers. It's certainly, I am happy that I was able to come here for the very first time. I hope it won't be the last.
Okay, well, who knows? Maybe you might even have a program. Thank you very much. Thank you out there for spending all this time with us. And I don't want anybody out there to frown and say, no, reconciliation. And if you follow President Granger, you will see that some of the things that he did make mention of that he was going to go after, he's turned his mind against that, because what is more important is the forward movement, upward mobility of this country through unity. That's what we've been preaching all the time, and we've got to forget some of the grievances we've had. That will put us nowhere. All right. So, thank you for being out there, watching this little talk. And when you see Ossie on the streets, you can talk with him some more. He'll tell you more, because the details that he had given me, I really couldn't, or we really couldn't bring them all out here, and we chose not to, because it's deep stuff, I can tell you. Okay, so thank you very much indeed. Okay, at 10 o'clock, we are going to go into our wrap-up stage. I have got to take the Sustenance Exchange to say thanks to the people who support this program. Okay, so please stay with us. Don't go away.
Michael Jackson can beat it, but you can't beat the boss's birthday offer at People's Pawn Shop on Rob Street. If you're behind in your payments, just come and pay 2 months interest, redeem it, or keep your pledge going. Even if your jewelry was forfeited, pay 2 months interest and you'll get the chance to get it back, same carat, same weight. Beat it down to People's Pawn Shop on Rob Street and take advantage of the boss's birthday offer that's good until he turns 80.
Okay, let's say good morning to Warren King of the Red Shop, Top End Turning Point, Dennis Street in Sophia. That's where you go there on a Wednesday and on a Friday. Well, in fact, lots of evenings he's got stuff, but his big nights are Wednesdays and Fridays. And tonight is a big night there where you can go and exercise the vocal cords at the karaoke. There's going to be a one-man band there too. If there is no one-man band, there's in-house music. You will get music anyway, and you can sip something banks and chat with your friends at the Red Shop. It happens every Friday. Okay, so that's where to be this evening. Top End Turning Point, Dennis Street in Sophia. Warren King is in charge of things down there. Take care. Okay, stay tuned. Dynasty Sports Club and Entertainment Center is the place to be all week. Every evening they've got something there for you. Tonight is a big night. You'll have Stitchie's Vibes Machine one-man band. I think you'll have Revolutionary one-man band too, and you will have fun. Just get down there, party to tomorrow, and you can rest off tomorrow, because Sunday night is another big night. You'll have another 2 one-man bands will be there, and you can go have your fun. Remember, they've got Creole food there from Monday through to Saturday. It's really good stuff, so you can go and sample it at Dynasty Sports Club and Entertainment Center, Orby Barker Road in South Rhineveldt Gardens. Stay with us.
Never thought I could eat my way to a slimmer waistline.
I was in the store and bam, there it was.
Reduced fat, no cholesterol.
Exactly what she needed for her super strict weight loss diet.
My hero, he's always just constantly looking out for me.
Anything, I mean anything to keep that irresistible waistline.
Keeping your waistline in line? Make it easy with Golden Cream Reduced Fat No Cholesterol Margarine. Now in a spanking new package that guarantees fitness.
Good. Okay, well, Caliber, good morning to you, Lieutenant Colonel George Gomes of Caliber Investigative and Security Services down there at Lottie Princess Street in Lodge. Yep, they do so many things there, including they provide the best of security, and they do investigative services and so on. Okay, you need to go and work with them because they've got a good unit put together there, and if you want to be a visiting supervisor, you can apply in person to Lottie Princess Street in Lodge. If you've got a motor car, it's going to help. If you've got a motorcycle, it's going to help. Even a bicycle will enhance your chances of being a visiting supervisor at Caliber. Okay, and not only male, well, in fact, human security services, they've got the K9 section too, the people who handle the dogs. If you want to be part of that, you can just apply right there. Lottie Princess Street in Lodge. It's excuse me, Caliber Investigative and Security Services. Go and take a chance down there. Okay. Dalo, good morning to you. Also called Vesta. She's got her bingo. It's coming up on Sunday here at Lot 1 Vredenhoop. That's Vredenhoop School Road. That's the Rock Disco, and it's going to happen on Sunday. Go there for 3 o'clock. That's when the cage starts to roll. You play 50 straight games, 3 cash coveralls. There'll be 3 door prizes and 1 special prize. And then there's going to be that cheap and sweet game. Okay, big bingo for you on Sunday, organized by Dalo, also known as Vesta, or Vesta, also known as Dalo. It's her annual event. Sunday, Lot 1 Vredenhoop School Road, Rock Disco. Go there and enjoy this bingo. 50 straight games, 3 cash coveralls, 3 door prizes, 1 special prize, and the cheap and sweet game starting at 3 o'clock. Stay with us.
So, come on down and get your supplies now. Cheese rolls, cakes, pizzas, pinwheels, and a wide variety of potted pleasers. Also fresh bread, tennis rolls, and butter flaps for the breakfast table. We're at 30th Ketley Street, Charlestown, at telephone number 225-7864 or 225-8670. Humphrey's Bakery, where breakfast is a new experience.
Okay, now there's going to be a pre-independence dominoes competition tomorrow and Sunday. That's this weekend. We always refer to Sunday as the weekend when in fact it's the start of the new week. But, you know, all habits hard to kill out. Okay, so on Saturday and Sunday, tomorrow and Sunday, there's the pre-independence dominoes tournament at a Turning Point. And each team will be asked to pay $9,000 to enter. I kind of can deal with this $9,000, where each team consists of 6 persons, and if you're going to pay $9,000, each player is going to pay $1,500. But it's hard to divide up when it's a $10,000 entrance fee thing. I don't like the $10,000 thing. You know, so I mean, yes, 10,000 you win more money, but you can divide the money nice and equally. You know what I mean? Anyway, $9,000 per team, and it's going to be tomorrow and Sunday at Turning Point. $125,000 first prize, $50,000 second prize, and $30,000 third prize. Pre-Independence Dominoes Tournament this weekend, tomorrow and Sunday at Turning Point. And please remember, Warren King's Red Shop, Top End Turning Point, Dennis Street in Sophia, is where you have your weekend activity, where you will have your karaoke and your one-man band, and you can drink something, banks, while you chat with your friend, have the Callaloo cook-up, which is very popular there, and so on. So you need to do that, okay? Well, I was just about to wrap up, but I almost forgot that Simone has got to say thanks for her Mother's Day thing. So Simone, quickly let the people know what happened on Mother's Day.
Yes,
right
sure now. All right, good morning, all of the viewers of Wake Up Guyana. This is Simone, just just saying a heartfelt thank you for your support at the Mother's Day show. Which camera? At the Mother's Day show.
Look at anyone. It's not about your eyes. It's about what you're saying.
All right. Under the circumstances, we had a really reasonable crowd. And all the persons said they enjoyed the show. And, Basil didn't want me to do that show. He asked me if I'm crazy to have a show on Mother's Day when the next morning people had to go and vote. And I said, no, I'm going to do this show for all the mothers and wives that really look forward to coming to the National Culture Center.
That,
you didn't mean
I didn't mean that. I said that because of what you told me you were going to do. What you told me you were going to do on the show.
What
and
I said
didn't
I was
want
going
people
to do.
I didn't want people to see.
Well, I didn't do what I did tell you that I
Yeah.
would do. I didn't do it. But once again, Basil, if you saw the dress up man, yes, they took my advice. They all got really well dressed, came out to the culture center, and they won really good prizes.
Yeah. Somebody said to me that they were surprised that so many people turned up.
Yes, people turned
Knowing
up.
that the Square of the Revolution was the place to be.
To be, yes.
But if you see the Square of the Revolution.
Yeah. No, man, the Square of the Revolution was
Which
the
night
night before.
Which night you talking
Square
about,
of the
man?
Revolution was the Saturday night.
Yeah.
The Sunday night we had Mother's Day
Well,
show.
there's always a Sunday night thing.
Yes, always a Sunday night.
Me.
But
you see when you come and kiss me, it's really got me.
but people, I think that they might have been afraid to come out, and so due to the climate. But boy, I must say congratulations to those ladies, and even the one that one piece of one of the jewelry, she was well decked in jewels, and she won. Yes,
you should have you shouldn't have. She should have given me.
Yes,
yeah, she gave me because she don't get jewelry.
Yes, and then
you see me, I ain't got nothing.
You got your hide in your trunk under your bed.
Oh my God.
Don't go though. But the lady that won the rocking chair, that was the prize of the night. Oh gosh, she sat and she was serenaded by Javinsky from Cross Colors.
And I hear the come wake. She sit down in the chair and she rock. The come wake up the next morning.
Okay, and she met me on the road. She said, I really didn't have space for the rocking chair, but I in a space,
and
they enjoyed.
She
didn't all.
Sorry.
She didn't all a nice young lady.
Well, you just make her want talk.
Yeah, and we had a beautiful fresh floral arrangement, and that was won by a beautifully dressed young lady. If you see her outfit, them girls go in the wardrobe, and she had on a lovely tube top sequin dress, and it was like a flare from the waist.
Wow.
And it was lined with things, and she was sitting there with a very handsome gentleman. So I really want to say congratulations to you.
I know.
And we had a couple of men too. The men turn out.
Well, Simone, you came here and you spoke so nicely.
Yes.
Why wouldn't the men want to turn out?
Yes.
If not for the show, to see you.
Nah, but they come with somebody, so they can't come for see me. So thanks again, Basil, and thanks to you for allowing me to bully you at any time.
Must lend me this hair when you're done.
It's a Brazilian hair.
Me, I ain't ask you is one nationality. I ain't ask you one nationality.
It's a Brazilian.
I want to borrow the hair.
It's a Brazilian hair from Rupununi.
It could put in afro and so.
Yeah, it could go in afro. Ask Cathy use. This is a tourism hair.
This Cathy hair. You are past Cathy.
This is the hair for
next
tourism.
Next couple days we can't talk Cathy name like that. She will be minister of what?
She's already the minister of tourism.
Tourism, yes.
That is why I call her name. It's the Rupununi hair.
Watch
So
it,
Cathy, you could
coming too close to my mouth. Then people can tell me all kind of stuff in this when I got out there. I know you say you deliberately come to do it. Yeah.
Once again,
yes,
Basil, I really want to say heartfelt thank you to all your viewers. I think half of the people in the Culture Center came from your show, from your viewership.
Half of the people who's go anyway has come from this viewership.
Yes.
You know what I mean.
So we just want to express our heartfelt thanks. I can't say thanks enough. Thanks to you, Basil. You allow me to bully you anytime at any will. And so on. And then your people follow you. And they listen to me and they come to my show.
We don't want you bully them, Simone.
No, I know.
One little jam and I got to look at you.
But here now,
thank you so much
hear
for
this
coming
thing.
in.
Oh, they love the show so much. I'm thinking to do an Oli show. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds
I can do
nice.
an Oli show
That sounds
at the
nice.
Culture Center. went to sometime in November, leading up to Christmas, and we all, because we were in a happy mode.
Oh,
and we
yes.
taking this happy mode till to beyond next 15 years or so.
You should try to see if you can get President Granger to come and sing an oldies song as well.
Oh man, he horse. How you gonna put he for sing?
Till the
I think
December,
I gonna
you
try.
still be hoarse?
I gonna try Prime Minister Nagamutu.
Oh yes, he could
And
sing
he
a
can
nice
give me a
Indian
nice
oldie. Sahani
song.
Rat.
Sahani Rat.
He sing a nice.
Thank you so much once again,
Yes,
Basil.
yes, Simone. You
Thanks.
always come and add a little bit of spice to the end of my program, all right?
Yeah.
Well, really do
I
have a
could
good
go
one.
long?
Yeah, go long.
Then nobody
Hold on,
can
the
see.
last time you go, you come back. Please don't go out the set and come back.
No, I'm
All right?
coming back.
All
Bye
right.
bye, Basil. Thanks
All
again.
right,
See
go,
you.
go.
Bye bye.
Come. Give me a quick kiss before you go. Come. All right.
He loves me.
All right, very much. Oh, you think he's there pooping this program like that? I've got to go. Thank you very much indeed for being part of the program this morning, and please do join me on Monday. We'll have another program of Wake Up Guyana. Basil here on behalf of Simone, on behalf of Ossie Rodgers, who was my guest, and on behalf of Shamar and Delise, who did a wonderful job this morning. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy the weekend, and I'll see you back on Monday. I leave you with a little bit more of Out the Place, man. Out the Place.
It's a long time I've been telling you that your time up. You figure you're on top. Your rule gonna be non-stop. But time is longer than twine. I bet you didn't know that. You live like a fat rat, but not smarter than the cat. Granny says she never gave up the fight. We don't want you no more. Pack your bundle for sure. And she kept toiling up to the night. Out with your dirty tricks. Get your lash for 6. You punish poor people. You poison the needle. You're too blasted evil. We select one drop and catch up on the hop. Returning a new page. New actors on the stage. Your rule was an outrage. Now we don't regret that we hold the breath. Accused the PNC of cheating elections, in that true? But you know you did too. True that cocoa voodoo. But every rule got an end. At the end of this was a godsend. This time it was Vincent. Still you didn't repent. Nature then decided to take its course. Now the people are free. Everybody happy. Thank God we didn't have to use any force. Only J could correct this. Had to stop your stupidness. You make people run away. Your salary can't pay. Yet you had a heyday. It's time to take a bow, cause it's we time now. Your policy kill me. Your president weary. Your government's scary. You know your damn well fails, so you got a holiday. You was a trainee in governance for all of those sad years, and you failed to switch gears, so no crocodile tears. You had a chance to upgrade your skills by seeking assistance, but you keep your distance and stifle your conscience. Can't say that the other side was unfair. Help was offered steady, but you just didn't ready. When called by the people, you wasn't there. Now you know where barley grow. Look at get your so and so. You kill plenty youth, man. Too much blood on your hand. You destroy the damn land. Suck the country dry. Even Chetty did cry. 30 deeds you can't doubt. It come out the horse mouth. Roger can don't sell out. We got to seal every crack so you never come back. I know that Granger, the president, will not be a letdown. He foot firm on the ground. Really, there is no clown. He got the patience and dignity of a truly wise man. So hold your brother left hand. The bitterness done gone. That kind of living they never know. Only venom they spew. Give you razor to chew. Onward, upward may we ever go. They will be no turning back on the one-way track. Was modern day slavery? You think you did only? Was a dirty story? Must a day gone by and I would not lie. We signed for a new bout. We charter a new route. Before we get shot out, we know you're vexed for true, but we not like you.
Blackman and Melville, U.S. immigration consultants and attorneys at law, licensed to practice in both state and federal courts in the United States. If you have been denied your immigrant visa or are seeking to prevent deportation, assistance is here. Blackman and Melville handles all immigration matters that you may need. We handle appeals, motions, visa applications, green cards, and deportation cases. In Guyana, you can give us a call at our office at 227-8269. Our office is located at 34th Street, Kingston, Georgetown. In New York and Georgia, you can call us at our main number at 718-576-1646 or visit our office at 11 Broadway, Suite 615, New York, New York, 10004. You can visit our website at www.bmlawonline.com.
Don't touch that dial.